Hello, this is a case study for a Google search PPC ad campaign for a paving company. So we are going to review the numbers, also the campaign strategy, a few technical details like bidding strategies, keyword match types, conversion tracking, and finally we're going to talk about why this campaign worked for the client. And we are going to review the numbers from September 1, 2025 till February 16, 2026, because that's when the company decided to stop because of obviously internal issues. This was a winning campaign, so it was really hurtful for me to pause this campaign because it was doing so well. Anyway, let's talk about the budget. It's a low budget campaign. As you can see, it was running like first we were running it on 50 or 70 a day, then we reduced it down to 30 again because of internal issues going on with the company. But we're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about the numbers. We got, and this is the all-time report, right? So we are talking about September 1 till February 16. We got in total 1.33K, so more than 1,300 clicks. And from those 1,300 clicks, we got 105 conversions. So we got 105 leads. There were phone calls, there were form submits, and the conversion rate was 7.88. That's the average. Obviously, in the end, the conversion rate increased. But let's talk about the average, right? 7.88 is more than decent because whatever is more than 5%, we call that decent. For local campaigns, we consider it to be near 10%. But since it was a low budget, campaign, increasing the conversion rate was, very difficult anyways. Cost per conversion was 41.27. And I should tell you, this is a paving company. They were specializing on parking lot paving. So it was pretty high ticket. So even if they converted like 10 or 20% of these leads, they were making profit from this campaign. So let's talk about the campaign settings. Again, the bidding is maximize conversions. No, actually we changed it to maximize clicks, right? So because we were not getting enough with maximize conversions because of low budget, so we decided to stay with maximize clicks. We were telling Google, give us as many clicks as you can, and it's on us to convert them through our landing page, right? So we were targeting a few locations: Chino Hills, California, Corona, Eastvale, Lake Elsinore. So you can see there's a lot of target locations here. Let's talk about the campaign structure. So here are the ad groups. Paving contractors, obviously we were running brand keywords as well, driveway paving, asphalt contractors. So my strategy for campaigns in Google search ads is to divide these keywords based on their intent into multiple ad groups. This is what I keep saying everywhere. If you've watched my YouTube videos, you know what I'm talking about. But if we go to any of these ad groups, you can see that this ad group only has keywords about paving. It doesn't cover asphalt. It doesn't cover parking lot or any, these are really similar keywords that we have in this ad group. Same thing goes for other ad groups. So that's one way for me to improve the quality score for each keyword, improve the CTR for each keyword, all right? For each ad group over here, we have dedicated landing pages. So each landing page will be super relevant to that ad group and its keywords. That's also one very important strategy that I apply for all my Google search ad campaigns. Looking at the ads, you can see that we've had ads running for these campaigns, for this campaign, and looking at the results, they've been generating clicks consistently and generating results consistently. The conversion rate was, like for this one, for example, it was more than 10%, so it was a winning ad for me. All right, looking at the keyword structure, we want to see the negative keywords as well. So we were adding a bunch of negative keywords to this campaign to limit and filter out the bad clicks. So we didn't want to get clicks from competitors' keywords. We didn't want to get clicks for free, cheap, affordable, none of that. So we were just filtering it out by adding a bunch of negative keywords, by doing consistent search term audits. Going to conversion tracking, and as I said before, we are using landing pages and not websites, because it's always a bad idea to send traffic to websites. I don't care what other advertisers say. It's always a good idea to have dedicated landing pages for each ad group. So if you have 5 ad groups, you would have 5 landing pages, super relevant to that ad group only. And in terms of tracking, we were tracking form submissions, obviously, on the landing page. We were tracking phone calls on that ad. So if they called via the ad, like by clicking on the ad, if they made a phone call, that would be counted as a conversion. If they went to our website and clicked on the call button, that would be also a conversion if they talked long enough. But this is basically the campaign. What made it work was obviously very narrow targeting. We were going after super high intent keywords with lower CPC, or lower average cost per click. If we see the average cost per click, it was 3.25. So we were really, really picky when it came to keyword research. And that's one way we made this campaign work by such low budget, right? Again, even if we are able to convert like 20% of these, that's huge profit for the company. So with that said, this is the case study for a paving company in California, and speak soon.